Marley's Mutts. Meet the man who has turned his own near-death experience into an opportunity to help rescue dogs. How his mission also helps inspire positive change in humans looking for a fresh start. Fox 5 Morning at 8 a.m. starts now. Meet the man who has turned his own near-death experience into an opportunity to help rescue dogs.
He founded Marley's Mutts, and now his mission is to help pups in need and inspire positive change in humans looking for a fresh start. Great story. We'll share it coming up next. At 8:30, real special story to share this morning. We turn to one man's mission to change lives, both human and four-legged.
It's called Marley's Mutts, and it aims to help rescue dogs and help people looking for a fresh start in their own lives. And the organization began after its founder had a near-death experience. But after recovering, he gave up life as he knew it to help people and dogs.
All right, Zach Scow joins us now, founder of Marley's Mutts. Daniel Robinson is a positive change grad. We'll get to more details on both of them in a minute. Thanks for coming in today.
Let me just say,
you brought some friends.
Hard to not be overshadowed by this beauty right here. Okay.
I want to start, Zach, first of all, with you. Just share a little bit about your background, because you were in a dark place yourself, and you came through.
Very much so, yeah. I was diagnosed with end-stage liver disease, the result of acute alcoholic hepatitis. I drank myself into liver failure. Essentially, my dogs helped me fight that, helped me beat it. You know, I'd been given less than 90 days to live, and I ended up surviving, not needing a liver transplant, and how I got better was working with rescue dogs, and we just never stopped, and that propelled Marley's Mutts to where we are now.
And I'm sure that 90 days was the medical diagnosis. Mentally, you probably were at the stage where maybe it wouldn't even go 90 days.
I was checked out. You know, I was almost obsessed with suicide, with taking my own life, because I had never lived without drugs or alcohol. So I was completely overwhelmed and scared out of my mind about how to try and live in any fashion. I was overwhelmed.
So how did that turn into Marley's Mutts?
Well, I just started bringing dogs into my pack, started trying to get physically better because I was very, very, very ill. And adding dogs to my pack, getting them adopted, and basically my community pushed me into this space and just kept saying, you're really, really good at this dog rescue stuff. You should do it. You know, and so we just kept doing it, and the community uplifted me, and here we are almost, 10 and a half years later. We've rescued 5,000 dogs. We have all kinds of amazing programs, including Positive Change, which Daniel is a graduate of, and, to the moon.
It's fascinating that, you started out rescuing the dogs, and now you've kind of parlayed that into rescuing humans as well in a certain way. Daniel, an example of this, Daniel, I'd love to get your take on this. Daniel was just recently incarcerated for more than a decade in California. And what has this done now for you? You've been out about a year now. How's this changed your life?
So initially in the program, coming in, not really understanding the concepts, it was an opportunity for me to grow emotionally, to grow, intellectually in a way as well. But just being able to work with different people in prison. Prison's such a rigid place as far as, racial politics and stuff. And so being able to work with people of different backgrounds and being able to integrate myself into something that's bigger than myself was very transformative. And I feel that we're able to almost regain our humanity in essence and parlay that into something.
100%.
That is so powerful. Tell us more about the whole Positive Change.
So Positive Change is a comprehensive inmate canine training program that we operate in 4 state prisons in California, as well as 1 girls' juvenile program, where we have rescue dogs living in a girls' juvenile facility. It's the only of its kind in America. Our dogs live for 14 weeks at a time in maximum security state prisons and rehabilitate alongside the men. Like he said, prisons are rigidly racially segregated. So the program
which can lead to what? It's not just,
every type
Hispanics
of
over here,
problem.
blacks over here, whites. It can lead to extreme violence.
All kinds of violence on the yard. And then when they get out, they've taken with them some of that racial separation. So our program is about immersion. Our program is about integration of all sorts. Integrating racially, integrating emotionally, spiritually, and really providing these guys with an occupational opportunity when they get out of prison. So because he graduated 4 times while he was incarcerated, he got out of prison and was able to become a professional dog trader immediately. And this is the pet services industry is a $70 billion a year industry. It's bigger than the music industry by almost double.
Yeah, at an amazing rate too. 5% every year is what it was.
And I wanted to ask you, Daniel, about that, because one of the things that we hear all so often is that for folks when they come out now and reintegrate themselves themselves into society. One of the hardest things to do is to get the job, because now you're behind the 8 ball on everything, literally, to try to get going. So how did something like this help you just kind of get your feet back into the workforce?
So, I mean, you know, it gives us the like, I don't want to say tools, but it gives us the ability to kind of take our transition back into society into our own hands, you know? Gives us the ability to be independent and to earn living wages, because, I mean, minimum wage is not enough to subsist on in California, especially. And so being able to use the valuable skills that I learned in prison to be able to, you know, provide for myself, and you know,
it's virtually impossible to get gainful employment when you're released from prison. You have a scarlet F basically tattooed on your forehead, and this program allows these guys to segue into as professionals in the pet services industry almost immediately when they're released. It's a very seamless transition. Of our 17 guys that have been released from prison, fully 9 of them are professionals in the pet service industry space. Several of those are black men. And we don't have black men trainers in this space, in this genre of employment. We just don't. So it's opening up this whole line of work, of which the pet service industry desperately needs trainers. These guys have an opportunity to fill that role in society and get right into training, whether it be at shelters, doggy daycares, all kinds of opportunities.
Opening up businesses and you know, look, so dogs, what we love about them, they're colorblind. They don't care how much money you make. They don't care how sick you are. They're healers, and you're doing this work as well.
We are rescue dogs, rescuing people.
All right. Sadly, neither one of
a little bit more, though, before we let you go, if you want to give the website or anything.
Absolutely. You guys can find us at marleysmutts.org. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook at Positive Change Program or Marley's Mutts. You can find Daniel at Doggy Jitsu. We're all over the place. Me at Zach Scow.
Making sure none of either of these are...
I'm pretty sure someone here is going to try and walk away with Cora.
Okay. Thank you so much.
They're needed to help so many others.
Beautiful work. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. 8:36. Tucker, good morning.